Welcome back to my channel, where we dissect the messy intersection of policy, power, and people. Today I'm telling a fictional story, but one rooted in the harsh realities of our world. Imagine this: a mother in Gaza, a farmer in Sudan, and a teenager in Haiti, all connected by the same invisible thread of hunger. Through their eyes, we'll explore the systemic issues driving food insecurity and why these problems matter not just for them, but for all of us. Hunger isn't just a personal tragedy. It's a global crisis with far-reaching consequences for peace, security, and humanity itself. Let's begin. Meet Fatima, a mother of 3 in Gaza. Every morning, she wakes up wondering if today will be the day her family goes without bread. The blockade has left only 3 bakeries operational in the entire region, and flour is as rare as rain in the desert. Yesterday, Fatima stood in line for 6 hours to buy a single loaf, enough to feed her family for one day if they ration carefully. Her youngest son, Ahmed, whispers, "Mama, I'm still hungry." But there's nothing left to give. This isn't just Fatima's problem. It's ours too. Blockades like Gaza's disrupt supply chains, creating dependency on aid and stifling local economies. When people can't feed themselves, desperation grows, fueling unrest and migration. The blockade isn't just starving families, it's destabilizing an entire region. Far away in Sudan, Abdul once dreamed of feeding his village. His fields used to burst with sorghum and millet, enough to sustain his family and share with neighbors. But now the soil is cracked, the rivers dry, and the skies empty of rain. The civil war has driven farmers from their land, and aid convoys rarely reach remote areas like Abdul's village. His youngest daughter, Amina, lies listless in her mother's arms, her ribs visible beneath her thin shirt. Abdul whispers, "We planted seeds, but the war stole the harvest." Abdul's story isn't unique. Across sub-Saharan Africa, climate change is colliding with conflict, leaving millions trapped in cycles of hunger and violence. Droughts destroy crops, while wars prevent aid from reaching those in need. This isn't just a regional issue, it's a global one. When food systems collapse, instability spreads, threatening peace and security worldwide. In Port-au-Prince, Marie navigates the shadowy streets at night, clutching a small bag of rice she managed to barter for. Her younger siblings haven't eaten in 2 days, and the gangs that control her neighborhood demand payment, either in cash or blood for safe passage. Tonight, she pays with both. As she ducks into an alley to avoid a patrol, she hears gunfire erupt nearby. Her heart races, but she presses on. When she finally reaches home, her siblings rush to greet her, their eyes lighting up at the sight of food. For tonight they'll eat, but tomorrow, Mary doesn't know. Marie's struggle highlights a dangerous trend. In fragile states, gangs and militias exploit food insecurity to consolidate power. By controlling access to food, they deepen poverty and perpetuate violence. This isn't just Haiti's problem, it's a warning sign for the world. When food becomes a weapon, societies fracture and instability spreads. Meanwhile, in a sleek conference room thousands of miles away, global leaders debate the latest hunger hotspots report. Sudan was flagged as a highest alert zone 6 months ago, but aid funding remains 1.2 billion short. One bureaucrat argues for relocating funds, while another insists on stricter conditions for recipient countries. Outside, protesters chant, "Feed people, not profits." Their voices echo faintly through the glass walls. But inside, the discussion drags on. By the time decisions are made, it may already be too late for families like Abdul's and Marie's. This bureaucratic paralysis isn't just frustrating, it's deadly. Delayed responses cost lives and deepen crisis. When global systems fail, the consequences ripple across borders, threatening security and stability everywhere. Hunger isn't just a humanitarian issue, it's a geopolitical one. Hunger doesn't stay confined to one region or country, it spreads. Families like Fatima's, Abdul's, and Mary's are forced to flee their homes, joining the millions of displaced people searching for safety and sustenance. These mass migrations strain neighboring countries, spark political tensions, and destabilize entire regions. Hunger also fuels unrest as desperate populations turn to protests, crime, or even extremism to survive. The cost of inaction is staggering, not just in human lives, but in global security and economic stability. When we ignore hunger, we're ignoring a ticking time bomb. It's not just their problem, it's ours. So what can we learn from Fatima, Abdul, Marie, and the countless others facing hunger every day? Their stories remind us that hunger isn't just a statistic. It's a lived reality shaped by conflict, climate, and governance failures. But they also show us that these problems aren't insurmountable. As Dave Klein once said, ordinary people can achieve extraordinary results, but only if they commit to starting and persisting in their efforts. This could mean something as simple as growing your own food, reducing waste, or supporting local farmers. It could also mean advocating for policies that address systemic issues like blockades, climate change, or bureaucratic inefficiency. The future isn't something we wait for, it's something we create. Hunger isn't just their problem, it's ours. And the choices we make today will shape the world we live in tomorrow. This is Kaede, out.